River Song Diary that you can purchase online at bbcamerica.com or at a Hot Topic or a comic book store or maybe a Sam Goody, just any place where you can get like fun props. But as you can see, it's kind of disappointing. I mean, like, it's great that the good people at BBC are producing this, but compared to all the other fan stuff that Doctor Who has provided us, it's kind of a letdown. Like, just look at the sonic screwdrivers. Like, this one's like, they make the sounds obviously, and like they do everything that you expect them to do in the show. And so usually, I mean, it's great that they produce great things like this, but when you're doing cool things like these and then giving us things like this, and I still use it as a diary, by the way, it's kind of a letdown. So that's why I decided to do a DIY on how to make your own River Song Diary. I got this book at Michael's for like $4. They sell them just as thick and just as thick at Walmart. So first you're gonna do is prime this, and I got primer for that, obviously. So let's just begin. I mean, do I even need to say step 1 for this? I mean, it's just, you're just priming something. I mean, that doesn't even count as step. That should be like common sense to people doing this. People who know art anyways. So I'm just gonna do 1 layer of primer, and hopefully the card won't soak it up and go all crappy on me. To dry, and we'll begin step 2. For part 2, for part 2, obviously, when we see the River Song Diary in the show, it has these little outings that you see here, but with this diary, you do not get to feel it. You don't get the actual core texture. But we solved that problem with paper. What kind of paper? I recommend using a kind of tougher, thicker paper. I could not find any tough, thick paper, so I'm using some old watercolor paintings that did not turn out so great. Oh, actually, this is acrylic, but it was my first acrylic painting and it's awful. And I recommend maybe using the paper used for postcards and diary not wasting so much. And to make the little squares, I recommend you buy one of these. They're like 9 something at Michael's, and I bought this on sale for like 5 something. Do 2 different ways because I'm not sure which way is the best. So one way, I'm going to actually cut it out and have it on here, like punch up the squares and cut them smaller. That way it's kind of a time saver, and it probably is a time saver. And like the other way, I'm just gonna like guesstimate and go out. So, you know, this is probably the best way to do it though. So time to punch those holes. This is a lot of guesstimation work, but this makes it slightly easier. Let me empty this first. Awkward. So make sure to try to do things as even as possible and make sure there's 8 squares. Actually, looks like they're too spaced out to me, so I'm probably gonna just cut this in half to make it thinner. There's one, and the other one is gonna get worked on. Do that 3 more times, guys. Okay, so a good 2 to 3 hours has passed by. I used this here thing to make little squares like so. And we can't really see it here, but they're kind of like thick indentions, and after many failed attempts, especially from the backside, I recommend using a hot glue gun or Mod Podge. And speaking of Mod Podge, we're going to use that for the next step. This here's Mod Podge, it's not that expensive. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to layer Mod Podge on here. I'm going to layer Mod Podge on here. I'm going to do maybe 2 layers just to give it a leathery effect. Go. We're layering. Okay, now that Mod Podge has been applied, we can continue. We're going to do the fun part. We're going to paint, and before we do that, as you can see, the Mod Podge has done its job of giving it a little like texture. Obviously, it cannot save the back of it. Unfortunately, this is a dark blue, and the type of paint I'm using, or hopefully this will work, is Folk Art acrylic paints, and I know this paint is kind of meant more for glass type of stuff, and people say you don't have to use this, you should probably use spray paint, but let's give this a shot. And hopefully, oh well, looks like things are turning out great, so I'm thinking maybe 1 or 2 layers of this should work, and then we'll have our blue river song thing. I have no idea how long this is going to take to dry, because I'm kind of an idiot sometimes like that. Oh wow, that was pretty darn even. Actually, the brush I use is giving me a pretty even job, so I highly recommend this brush. I don't know what kind it is. I literally bought it on Walmart on the spur of the moment, and I did something for a friend last minute. So I can't say the brand. I have no idea what kind of brush it is, but it is great. So this is the end result. It's pretty darn good, and of course something I did it DIY for the first time. Nice little squares. Even the back came out good, and that's why I screwed up horribly. to get the Mod Podge. But there's not much else to say about this. I hope this is helpful to you making your own River Song Diary.